who's drinking tea, I feel a certain level of guilt and shame that I'm not a tea drinker.
Oh, that's okay.
Well, so when I was teaching voice, I would always remind people, coffee is acidic. It's not really good for a singer. And I'm like 3 coffees a day.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like a hypocrite. And then I should just drink tea.
Well, I drink both.
That makes me feel slightly better.
Coffee in the morning and tea in the evening. My last thing of the day is usually a big cup of tea. And right now I'm into this apple cinnamon stuff.
Oh, that sounds
really good.
really nice. And it just sounds classy to drink tea.
I'm not very classy, but okay.
You are to me. I think you are. I'm just so happy to be doing this with you. So here is my confession, and let me see if I can word this correctly. So I feel like it has taken me until now to be confident enough in myself to just be a solo performer. And so for years, I hid behind a band or having people accompany me, all just because I wasn't confident. And I would look at you as one of the people that you inspired me. I'm like, I remember thinking when we did the show together at Rose Garden, right? Mm-hmm. Just thinking to myself, Lisa's so wonderful and confident, and I wanted to be able to do that. So anyway, you've been one of my mentors, know it or not.
Wow, that's so sweet. It's funny. Somebody told me about this. I forget the whole story around it, but the idea of a duck swimming or a swan swimming that looks so graceful, maybe on the outside, but under the water it's like this. And that's me. I'm very, I'm surprised to hear you say that I seem confident at all, because I feel like I don't really feel that way, but I do think that there is something about music or anything that we love that sort of allows you to let go of the fear that you have because of your love for the thing that you want to do.
Yeah.
So I have terrible stage fright, but I love doing it somehow. It's weird. Do you have that too? Do you get, because I thought the same about you. You just seem like you totally have it together, and you're so professional. You get out there, you can actually sing and write songs and play guitar.
It's so funny.
I was so impressed. Backstage that night, I remember telling Sean, she's really good. What am I doing?
That's so funny because I felt the same way. I felt the same way.
That's so funny.
And so I always think to myself, we can feel a certain way, but what you present to the outside world isn't necessarily that.
Yeah.
And I am a big, maybe not in everything, but when I was teaching a lot too, I would always tell kids, every performer has a level of anxiety. Mm-hmm. It's learning how to use it, and honestly, pretending. It's this whole
fake it till you make it thing.
Yes, you just. Yeah. And I've found the more I pretend to be confident on stage, the kind of easier it gets. But kind of. It's still there. There's still those nerves.
It's good. I mean, if you were just bored by it, how sad would that be? It's nice to have a little bit of the nerves is telling you that you want to do a good job, and you can find a way to put that nervous energy into just focusing and just
And that's where being good at yoga is another thing I should do. I should drink tea and do yoga, because that helps you be able to channel your energy.
I want to do yoga. My kids, my daughter, are we live? Are people watching this right now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. My daughter is just getting into yoga. She's 8, and so we have 3 yoga mats. This is our living room. So my son and daughter and I will do yoga together. And I just discovered there's bedtime yoga. There's a lot of kids yoga.
Oh,
and you can start when they're really little. So you and your son could do there's also parent-child yoga that could be really fun.
I'm only laughing because there were so many things I was going to do with my son.
I know. It's crazy.
And he doesn't want to do anything except sing the ABCs.
They start to have a mind of their own very early. Almost immediately.
Yeah, oh gosh. And I've told this story so many times, and I don't know if it's as funny to other people as I think it is. But I thought my son and I, when he got this past Easter, that we could garden together. He would just, that he would see me watering the plant, and then he'd want to gingerly water the plants with me. And the first morning we went out to do this, I was wearing my pajamas, and a big bathrobe, and he took off. And I had to like chase him
Oh
into the
my
neighbor's
God.
yard in my bathrobe. Like,
Wow.
that's gardening with a 1.5-year-old.
I forget, like, my kids are, I have this dream, like, this pastoral dream of, like, we're gonna learn how to grow our own food. And we have, like, a little raised bed in the backyard, and it starts off so exciting. Like, you plant the seeds, and then there's so much work. And I think my kids like the planting the seeds part, but it's all the other stuff that it's hard to keep them, like, we got a job to do.
Yeah. And then
Like
waiting
weeding.
for them.
Yeah, but if you give your son like just a box of dirt and a shovel that he could just go crazy with, like outside, maybe like on a big shower curtain,
That's
then
a good idea.
it could focus it. Like the scooping, 2-year-olds love scooping, right? Is he into
Oh,
scooping?
yes. He loves to put stuff into containers, yes.
Yeah, then you could do your like parallel play. Like you do gardening and he can do.
So my other funny thing with him, which is kind of like the scooping things, I've been trying to get him to try new foods. Healthier foods was the goal, but for whatever reason I started with Lucky Charms.
Nice.
And he only wants the marshmallows, of course.
Yeah.
And so he'll eat the marshmallows out and then just chuck the rest of the Lucky Charms across the room. And I thought that he would have such fun retrieving them now and picking them up to... No.
Somehow that's not as much fun.
Oh my goodness. Listen, I'm just so glad you're here, and I should have asked you before, and I didn't. Are you comfortable going first?
Sure. We talked about this during our sound check. We didn't really. I haven't planned what I'm playing tonight. So I'm just gonna play my old standby song that I usually start with.
Yeah. And I'm glad it's not just me. I've never asked another artist about that, but you do wind up with like the song you start with.
Well, it's either like maybe it's not every single time, but I just feel like playing this one. I'll start with this one tonight. So if it doesn't sound good, you let me know in the private chat. I'm going to switch it over.
I absolutely will.
Okay. This is called Nearby. And it's a song I wrote with my friend Sean Staples. Everybody knows you till they don't. Some things you can't see when you stand too close. When you told me you were thinking of leaving town, I guess I always thought I could find you hanging out. And I never really saw it until now. You're as close to me as a coat in the winter, the family feel of a Sunday dinner, the kind of love where you don't even have to try. I was wasting time in all the wrong places, sifting through a river of faces. I was busy looking at the stars in the sky. You were so nearby. And with every empty, hollow kiss was a feeling of something that I might have missed. And now it's finally coming into view, how there's nothing I could say that you can't see through. And there's nobody that knows me like you do. You're as close to me as a cold in the winter, the family feel of a Sunday dinner, the kind of love where you don't even have to try. I was wasting time in all the wrong places, sifting through a river of faces. I was busy looking at the stars in the sky. You were so nearby. And I'm sorry that it took so long to see. It was all there, right in front of me. So maybe you could wait a while before you leave. You're as close to me as a coat in the winter, the family feel of a Sunday dinner, the kind of love where you don't even have to try. I was wasting time in all the wrong places, sifting through a river of faces. I was busy were so nearby, so nearby, so nearby.
That song is so beautiful.
Thank you.
Now, Sean
Yes.
Staples, you said? Is he the one who accompanied
Yes.
you at the Rose Garden?
Yeah.
I really
Yeah,
loved
he's
his
so
playing
good.
too. It was such a
Oh,
beautiful,
thank you.
beautiful song. And we have friends
Oh,
here. So
good.
Denise is here, and Dave.
Yes.
You know Dave
Hi.
Eschbach. And Celine, I hope I'm pronouncing that
Oh,
right,
yeah,
is
hey,
watching
Celine.
from Rockport, and Rich
Great.
in Somerville, and my friend Chris is here tonight, and Scott
Yay.
Wayne is
Hi,
here.
everybody.
And just to reiterate, I'm very excited to have Lisa with me tonight. And I think I didn't realize, we were chit-chatting before, so you did a lyric video for the song you wrote for your daughter. And I remember when I saw that video, I was like, wow,
Oh.
who painted that?
Nice. Thank you.
Because I was just so ignorant and didn't know you were such a fabulous artist. And then come to find out tonight, I also didn't know you taught in public school.
Yeah, well, it was a charter school, and it was only a couple of years. But yeah, hey, Jeff, I was an elementary school art teacher for a while.
That's so
Yeah.
cool. I love learning little tidbits about people
Oh.
like that.
Nice.
I did my student teaching
Mm-hmm.
to teach music in a school, and I
Oh,
just
cool.
never did it. I think,
Yep.
in my 20s, I couldn't fathom having to wake up early for a job.
Mm-hmm.
I just couldn't wrap my head around it.
Yeah.
And then my first pandemic panic that I had was, oh my gosh, if I was a school teacher, I'd have a job right now. And of course, it's been a while since I was in school, so I started looking into what I would need to do to go back, and I bought all these books for what's the test you need to get a master's degree?
Oh, MTEL? No.
No,
Is it MTEL?
no, that's the teacher one. There's a test you have to
I
take to go
forget.
to grad school, and
Oh, my grad school didn't require it. I went to like a really hippie, like.
that's what I would need, because
reason.
as soon as
Yeah.
I realized that I would need math for this test, I was just like, cried.
Yeah.
It was a really
Well.
sad moment. And I gave up. GREs, yes, Janice,
yeah.
thank you. I gave up instantly.
That was, I think, when I went to grad school, that had not yet become a requirement, and it really would have changed the course of my life, I think, if it had, because I had like anything to do to avoid math. Of course, now I'm teaching elementary school math to my kids for homeschool, and it's like we're all learning together.
Yes. So then I graduated college with a 4.0.
Nice.
The one math class I had to take, I really only got the good grade because I wrote an essay about why I should get it. It wasn't because of my math skill. And so
Nice.
I was just, anyway, when I realized I didn't know any of this math on the practice test, I broke down, and then I thought to myself, no, I'm not giving up. And so
It's
I got
so hard.
Khan Academy. Have you seen that?
Oh, yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
a
I've
little
heard of
math
that.
app, and I started with 4th grade math, and I'm proud to say that I can add fractions with uncommon denominators, and that's as far as I got.
That's impressive. That's really good. I need to go back and do all that stuff again.
I needed someone to tell me it was impressive, because yeah, 4th grade math.
I'm impressed.
But it's funny, you don't use those things, and they go away.
Mm-hmm. It's
I
true.
hadn't thought about my math failure in a little while, but so I'm gonna do a relatively new song. It's gonna be on my new album, and I'm gonna do it. The last time I tried to play it, I forgot it. So this is me trying to redeem myself.
Awesome.
Something about a summer night spent talking, just talking. Something in your summer eyes I'm liking. I've been a lone star as long as I've been here, but you offer up a glass that I can bear. it's a real sure thing. We're all gonna fall. I'd rather spill the cup than feel nothing at all. This lone star. Sitting by this summer fire, we're drinking, just drinking. I'd like to ask you all the things you're thinking, but what am I thinking? I've been a lone star as long as I've been here, but you offer up a glass that I can bear, and it's a real sure thing. We're all gonna fall. I'd rather spill the cup than feel nothing at all. This lone star. This lone star. Help me, I'm burning up. I don't wanna give it up. Help me, I'm burning up for you. Something about the way you look at me smiling. What are you hiding? 'Cause it's a real sure thing. We're all gonna fall. I'd rather spill the cup than feel nothing at all. This lone star. This lone star. Lisa will be right back. She will. No,
Sorry.
that's okay.
I'm sorry. I have my headphones on. And I'm like, I can only go as far as these will go. That song is so
Thank
good.
you.
It's amazing.
Yes.
It's a new song. How are you? I want to ask you about your writing process and like how you work it into your. Is it like a daily thing for you, or how do you make that happen with a 2-year-old? I know that's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not really.
No, it's hard. It's hard
It's
to
not fair that people ask female songwriters or like any kind of artist or anything like, how do you juggle it all? Like, I don't mean to be like that, but just practically also as a mom, like, how do you do it? 'Cause-
So I'm lucky in that my husband is working full time at home, so I don't have to worry about that piece of it. But it's so one of the hard things that I've had going on, and it would have happened regardless of the pandemic, is giving up the working full time that I had before. That's been a very interesting transition and really difficult.
Yeah.
And so the writing has become my job, and I have to I make it happen because I know it's giving me purpose.
yeah.
And I'm in a songwriting group, so, and I always joke I've never been in a club before, so it feels cool to be in a club of sorts.
Yeah.
But if you don't write the song, you get kicked out, and so I have to.
Wow.
And so
It's high stakes.
it is high stakes, and I'm just so desperate to stay in this group. But I'm also lucky that I've got teenage stepdaughters at home, so I'm able to get an hour or two in each day.
Nice.
Whether I use that time to write or to do emails or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really hard. I'd love to hear from other parents out there, not necessarily just moms, but it's hard because you want to be present with your child. I don't want to be doing these things while I'm with him.
Yeah. But if you don't give yourself that time, I find that you're kind of distracted when you're with your child. So it's better. I feel like for me, it helps me be more present if I've already taken care of the stuff that I need to do, and then I can feel like, all right, I got that done. Whichever comes first, or I know that after bedtime I'm gonna have time. I might be tired, but it'll be quiet.
Right, right.
That's...
You know, I think you're absolutely right, and it's so important for me to have that time away to do stuff because I want to be with my son.
Yeah.
You know, and so yeah, it's hard, but I just have to force myself to do it. And honestly, half the time the songs are awful because I'm like, okay, I have a half an hour, I need to write a thing.
That's so good, though. I love that you just, like, you can just sit down and, like, get to work. I find I procrastinate a lot, and I don't actually get to it. Or if I have, like, a window of an hour, like, I'll just be looking at my phone or doing something, totally unproductive. But
Hi, Charlie from New Jersey, and thank you so much, William. Yeah, the phone, oftentimes I have to just put the phone away.
Smart. Yeah.
When I'm in this writing zone, which is where I'm sitting right now, the phone has to go away, and I just like focus on the paper.
Yeah.
And I get
so
myself.
Do you write on actual paper or do you write on a computer?
Yeah, I do. Thank
Oh,
you.
that's so great.
And
Yay.
I just finished one, and it was like a big thing for me to actually complete an entire notebook. Such a great feeling.
That's awesome.
But isn't there something really nice, and I wonder if this translates to visual art as well, there's something really inspiring about blank paper.
I love a notebook. I have a slight obsession with these comp books. This is what I write in, and I've even been writing down cover songs as I'm learning them in here. And this is like for everything, like song ideas, journal entries, cover songs, and I like having it all kind of in one place, even if it means I have to go back and like look through stuff, like what are the words to that song again?
Yeah.
But yeah, starting a new one is very exciting.
And the smell of the paper. I told my niece the other day, like, scents that I love are books and paper fresh from a photocopy machine. And she looked at me like,
picture
you're
that,
such a weirdo.
No, my gosh, there's something so vivid about that. Like, I can picture that smell so clearly.
Yes.
That's great.
Another one that I've really been liking lately, I have this can, and it's like a caramel popcorn can, with Christmas images on it that was my grandmother's.
Oh.
And in it is the Viewmaster that I used to use at her house.
Oh.
And I hadn't opened it in a long time, and I opened the can, and the scent of the crayons that were still in there from when I was a little kid just brought me back to her house, like I was in her living room when I was smelling those crayons.
Oh, I hear you. I think it's your ability to notice those details that like help you. I mean, that's what makes your songwriting so great. Like just you're paying attention clearly to like things like that.
There's those little details, like how to make a scent into a song.
I have the I don't know if you can see. There's a plant behind me, and the cabinet that it's sitting on is from my grandparents' house, and on the bottom cabinets, when I open them, it smells like their house inside there.
Yeah.
So I stick my head in sometimes just to like get that smell again. That's where my grandmother kept her like paper plates and tablecloths and stuff, and it just smells like their house.
Charlie, thank you so much. I want to keep talking about this because this is something that I've been thinking about a lot lately. It's actually making me tear up a little bit. Well, not in a bad way though, because it makes me feel connected to those people that I've lost, So I want to keep talking about this, but I want to hear a Lisa song too.
Okay. Well,
Hi,
you know what?
Peter.
I'm gonna play a song. It's a sad song, but it's a song. I'm just talking about my grandparents, and it's a song that I wrote just after, maybe a year or so after my grandmother passed away, and I don't really play it very often, so I hope I can remember it. It's called "Sorrow's a String," and how it's kind of about how sometimes your sadness is a way of feeling connected to somebody that you've lost. God, I hope I remember the words now. Well, I drove by the house even though I know better. It still looked the same as when you were there. Well, they cut down some trees, but the barn is still standing, and there's a light inside somewhere about to turn on. When I cry, my sorrow's a string. I wanna love you as long as I can. I would fly if I had wings. How I wish I could see you again. And I can still hear your footsteps running down the stairway. And I can still see your smile as you open the door. And the new radio tower has gone up in the distance, but the backyard birds still whistle your song. When I cry, my sorrow's a string. I wanna love you as long as I can. I would fly if I had wings. How I wish I could see you again. And the neighbor's car slows when he sees me. It's probably time that I should go home. Every once in a while I stop to remember. It's not the place that I miss after all. When I cry, my sorrow's a string. I wanna love you as long as I can. I would fly if I had wings. How I wish I could see you again. How I wish I could see you again.
Holy smokes, you captured that so eloquently.
Thank you.
Whew. Charlie was just saying that his granddad
Oh,
still smell like
yeah.
him. It's just, yeah, it's funny. I didn't plan for tonight either, but I had this thought to myself, like that I wanted to talk about antique-y type things. Because I think it's because of the holiday season. I just have been extra missing my people lately, and so like
Yeah.
going into the antiques. This is not related to a song.
Okay.
But I found these things, and I just think they're so cool. So I inherited everything from both of my grandparents.
Yeah. Wow.
And so I have here their World War II ration books.
Mm.
Isn't that so cool?
Wow.
And
Where did they live? What part of where did they?
In
where were
Wareham, Mass.
No kidding. Wow.
Yes. And then, but this is the cooler thing for me. So my dad died, just as background, my dad passed away in 2016.
Sorry.
I'm just throwing this up there because,
Yeah.
tip the artist because this is our only income. So my dad always had this box sitting next to his chair that no one else sat in the
Aw.
living room. And I was never allowed to look in it. And maybe one time in my life I saw him going through it. And so after he passed away, I got this box and I was like, what on earth was even in this box? And it's so cool. It's all his trinkets from when he was in the Marine Corps and was in Japan. So it's like his little lapel
Wow.
thing and really cool like pictures of him and that I had never seen before. But it's the same thing. Like I opened it and I smelled my dad, and it's just really cool how those scents can bring them back for a moment. Like look at this. This is 1954 soap from TWA.
That's amazing. This could be like, we could just talk about antiques and stuff from our families this whole time. Like, I have, most of what's in my apartment is stuff from my grandparents' house. I was so close with them, and when I moved in here, I just wanted to be surrounded by it. I live in like an old lady's house. Like, it's an old lady's house.
Are we the same person,
I love
Lisa?
it because I feel like there's something so special about mementos from people. I'm a little bit of a pack rat maybe, but like I'm trying to be like really intentional about like I have these things for a reason. Like the guitar that I'm playing was my grandmother's. I have her banjo on the wall. Their artwork that they made is all around me. It's like a comforting feeling to be surrounded by things that have been in your family and that you love. So that's so great that you have that little bar of soap. And the
I love
box
it.
and the smells of it. I mean, it helps me know you better, and like, I love that. Thank you for sharing. Share more. Like, is there a story with a mirror behind you?
No, so my husband's family collected antiques. I see Charlie restores antiques, which is really cool to know. I wonder how close you are to me, because I have some antiques that need restoring. So my husband's family had an antique store, and so a lot of the things we have may or may not be from his family. But one cool thing we do have is like a Victorian sofa. It looks like the one in the Lizzie Borden house. I hope you all know who Liz. I always assume people know it's the awful person. So anyway, we have this couch, and it needs to be fixed.
Or did she? Did she or didn't she?
I think she did.
Do you think she did?
I do think she did, but I think she had a reason to. I think maybe she's one of those people that was just pushed a little too far. So we've got this couch, and we're going to get it fixed. And I was thinking to myself, this looks like the Lizzie Borden couch. And then I remembered that my mother-in-law's aunt was Lizzie Borden's nurse.
Oh my God, what a connection.
And this couch came from that family. So
wow.
I'm not saying it is or it isn't.
It could very well be.
It could be.
So what are you having done to it? Is there does it have like a picture, like a velvet, like what's the fabric that's on it now?
It's a dark fabric with little like white circles. It's very Victorian looking, but dark.
Nice.
But the arms need to be, it needs to have all the upholstery taken off and the frame fixed and reupholstered. As Charlie might know, it's a lot of work. So the house, not this house that I'm in now, but so when I was like 10 years ago, my parents lost their house. We stood in the driveway as it was auctioned.
Oh
which
my
was
God.
And for somebody who's so attached to things like that, it was really probably one of the hardest things I've ever gone through. And 5 years ago, I was able to purchase my grandmother's house.
Oh my God.
So that my mom would have a place to live, which has been really nice. So I get to go there and like be in the house.
Wow.
And I put all her stuff where it was.
Yes.
Where she had it, because in my mind, like, that's where the stuff goes.
Yeah, that's where it belongs. That's amazing. That's so beautiful that you were able to do that.
This makes me think that I should try this song that I've played once, and the one time I played it was when I wrote it.
Yeah.
If I do it now, there's time for it to be bad and me to vindicate myself later. But it's about antiques.
Awesome. Perfect.
Maybe. I think I should leave your video up for reaction in case it's
No, because I need to go. There's a song I want to play after it that's like right over there, so I'm going to go get it while you're playing it. So.
Okay. So the prompt that we got this past week for my songwriting group was "Use Me," and I was thinking to myself, like many people, and I was initially inclined to write it in a romantic sense. Mm-hmm. But then I was thinking about antiques, and like, what if the antiques are just sitting there screaming to be touched and used and paid attention to?
Aww.
So that's
cool.
That's what I was going for.
Nice.
And this time, I never remember. I always remember to put my guests' websites up, and I never remember to put mine. So if you like my Facebook page, it would make my whole day. Okay, be kind with me here. This is truly, I wrote this on December 1st. And I recorded it right after I played it, and that was the last time I played this song. I'm not the same as I used to be, a yellow page at the start of me. So many hands have wanted to read my lines. Sentiment stained by an ancient glass of wine. So use me up and use me long. Won't you sing me like an ancient song? Gravity goes where the message is told. Give them another verse, 'cause your grandma knew the words. Not as bright as I used to be. There's a crack in the heart of me. All the little hands that have held me hot and cold. Go behind the glass they say we can't use what's too old. Oh, use me up and use me long. Won't you sing me like an ancient song? Gravity goes where the message is told. Give him another verse. 'Cause the grandma knew the words. Oh, if love has a color, we might say it's red. But I think it's signs of use instead. And I never wanna fade. I never wanna fade away. But use me up and use me long. Won't you sing me like an ancient song? Gravity goes where the message is told. Give him another verse. 'Cause your grandma knew the words.
That was gorgeous.
Thank you. So
I can't believe you're like, oh, this is a new song. Like, I don't know. And then it's so good, and you sang it so well.
So here's the funny thing about that particular song. So the house my grandfather grew up in has been essentially abandoned since the 50s, and it's like this time capsule, and my cousin who owns it lives in the South. And so, like, vagrants have been in and out of this house. And
Oh, wow.
my husband and I, a couple years ago, drove past it, and the door was open. And I thought, I feel like a duty to go in and make sure everything's okay. Also, I wanted to look
Wow.
around. And so we found this mug, which was a shaving mug, and it had my great-grandfather's name on it in gold leaf.
Oh, my gosh.
Such a cool thing. And, of course, I never got to meet him or anything. So anyway, we've had this mug. I wrote that song about the antiques, and I came upstairs, and maybe an hour or two later, the mug fell, and the handle shattered, and so did my heart at the same time.
Oh, my God.
But the only thing and then I was able to meticulously glue the handle back together, like a puzzle of a million pieces. But the only thing that made it okay in my mind was like, okay, if I'm going back to my song, maybe the mug is just glad to have attention.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the mug threw itself out, and
Maybe it broke itself so that you would
Yes.
pick it up.
yes, because then it got so much love and attention. as I
Aw,
glued it
that's so sweet. Oh,
I'm just a dork or an old lady.
that's beautiful. I mean, I know we were joking before, and I'm not suggesting that this is going to happen, but during our sound check, we were sort of half joking maybe about, I said something and you were like, oh, that sounds like a song idea, and then I just threw it out there.
This is the one.
Why don't we write a song live as part of your live stream? I'm not saying it should happen right now, because as I'm saying it, I'm very terrified of the idea, but I would watch that. Like, if you want to do it with somebody, like, you can have that idea. Like, you're...
But Lisa,
I feel like, but it would be fun to write with you sometime.
I would
Like,
love
maybe not
to.
live, but I think, like, we have stories in common and, like, things that we're both interested in, and...
Oh, I absolutely agree. I think that we should do it, though. We could come up ahead of time with our subject or our prompt. I wonder, people could comment.
Could we do it live? People could comment, and they'd be like, no, that's
Yeah.
bad. Don't keep that.
Would anybody be interested in this? Let us know, because I would do it if people would find that
I'm
interesting.
game. I mean, what do we have to lose? I mean, it's like, why not? I think it could be fun.
Okay, I'm
Maybe,
game.
I mean, but not right now. Like, I need
No,
to
not-
be
not
prepared
tonight.
for it.
We need to prepare. We need tea and
We need to-
martinis.
We need to publicize it widely so that we have a lot of people tuning in. like really do a big build up, and then it'll be us just sitting there like, I don't know, should we drink more coffee?
Okay, just
That's
gonna
how
say.
songwriting goes for me.
So when I went to write with Lori McKenna, I was really nervous because, like, who she is.
Yeah?
But that's what it was like. We just, like, sat in her basement and drank coffee
Okay.
and chit-chatted for a few hours and then wrote a song.
All right, I can chit chat and drink coffee, and we can do that.
Totally. Folks, let us know if you would tune in, and perhaps people might have some ideas for what the prompts could be.
I think that's a great thing. Like, you send your ideas in, and then we pick one sort of at random. Like, we'd look through them and then choose one and then just make something up. It could be really silly or it could be really sad or whatever. Like, probably it would come out sad. But I think that would be really fun.
Denise is in. Denise likes the idea. That about sells it for me.
Okay. All we need is one person, and then it's like, it's a show.
It's me, you, and Denise, and whoever else wants to come. Did I hold? I don't know if I put, but this is the really cool.
Oh, that's beautiful. Did you repair that? Because it looks seamless.
The handle,
I don't see
the
any.
handle. You can see it's a little.
Really good.
It's a little crooked, but that's pretty good for super glue. So if you need anything glued, I'm your girl.
That's awesome.
Someone has a song title idea. People like this. Neil thinks that we should do it with something in our coffee.
Okay.
And Dave will just hang out. Okay, this is a plan.
All right, we'll do that.
I want to hear more, Lisa. Tell me, so that you have the song you wrote for your daughter, which I love, and the video for it is just absolutely stunning.
Oh, thanks.
I'm not trying to push you toward playing that.
Well, I would like to
that
play
song.
that maybe a little bit later, but while we were talking about stuff, I have a song about stuff.
Okay, I like
Also,
stuff,
that
and I like
thought
songs.
would play. And it's a new one that I've only played a few times, but it's another co-write with Sean Staples, and we were just talking about stuff, like stuff that accumulates, and like we just made this list of things. But the song is called "Bring It On." Don't bring me dried up roses from a long ago bouquet, a casualty of something that you did or didn't say. Don't bring me any stories of how the summer burned, or how the wind would bite as you felt the seasons turn. Don't bring me broken china, shards of shattered glass, all the quiet days you spent hoping all of this would pass. But there's a whole lot of things you've been carrying too long. If you wanna love me, if you feel that strong, bring it on. Books you used to read, dog-eared and underlined, a shrine of memory. Don't bring me faded photos slipping out from plastic sheets, your smiles telling stories that are always incomplete. Don't bring me your old toolbox from underneath the stairs. There's nothing to change or fix, and nothing to repair. But there's a whole lot of things you've been carrying too long. If you wanna love me, if you feel that strong, bring it on. Old and broken radios, rusty guitar strings, all those tiny nuts and bolts and nails and screws and springs, wore out coats and flower pots, shirts you never wear, shoelaces, old suitcases, you can't leave them there, you can leave them there. 'Cause there's a whole lot of things you've been carrying too long. There's nothing here but you and me when all of that is gone. And if you wanna love me, if you feel that strong, bring it on. Bring it on.
Stunning.
Oh, thank you.
Stunning. Isn't it? I like the idea of writing to the prompt of
Yeah.
things and stuff, because you could go in so many directions with that. And I think, I just, side note, my upside of this whole pandemic live stream thing is I'm getting to know other artists and how similar we are. But like, having all of these things is comforting and daunting to me all at once, because I feel like I spend so much of my time like protecting the things too.
Yeah.
You know, and like, for example, one of my stepdaughters sleeps on my grandfather's bed.
Aww.
And so I'm like, oh, just please take care of it. Please, please.
Yep.
You know? And, but that song made me think a little bit about, I mean, that wasn't necessarily a breakup song.
This one, the one that I just played, was about like, here's all the stuff that you have, and you don't have to bring it. It's just you and me. Like, the idea of it was like, we don't need all this stuff.
We just need each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love that. And so I was thinking about it in the context of it's not even the same, but it's different. So my husband, when he went through his divorce, found out about it because he came home and stuff was gone. But like antique stuff.
Wow.
And so I wrote a song like starting. When I started it, it was meant to be more of that sentiment, and it didn't wind up that way. It was more like, you took my stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's fun. Like, you get attached to stuff, and then you know, there's also, the more attached you are, the harder it will be to lose it, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I think, you know, I guess I have all this stuff and I hold on to it so tightly, and I like it to go in the places where it's supposed to go, because it makes me feel, maybe in some small way, like those people are still here.
Yeah.
You know, which is, it's hard. It's hard too, especially with children running around.
Yeah.
All this stuff.
Yeah.
Somebody's asking about your Gibson.
Oh, yeah, this is a Gibson. This was my grandma's Gibson. And Grace, maybe I showed this to you when we played that show together, but it has my grandmother's handprint on it. I don't know if you're able to see it in this light, but it's from when you probably can't see it, it's so dark in here, but she would sit at song circles, like with her hand right here, and just like waiting for her turn in the song circle, she'd like be sweating and nervous. Yeah. And so it's like worn away from the oils from her hand.
I'm like, my eyes are welling up. That's so beautiful, and you get to put your hand in that.
And I put my hand right in the same spot too. So yeah, there's like layers to it now.
Yeah, I was with the mug thing. That's why I was so sad that it was the handle that broke. 'Cause I'm like, that's the place where he held it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That's the thing I can't touch now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm totally crying over here. Yeah, antiques.
I hear you.
Well, my song's not a cry song, but it is about the stuff.
Okay.
It's me being a little bit sassy, and I try to temper my introduction to this a little bit, and just say this is a song I wrote for my husband regarding his divorce. And it started with the idea of his stuff being gone. She never could put anyone but her first. She took your last dime, she took your old shirt. Standing there with nothing left but your pride. She did you dirty, but you didn't run and hide. You only ever hear how beautiful it is, starting your life and raising your kids. Nothing ever said about how broken you feel when you learn it's not real. Mama said don't ever live with regret. And what'd you ever see in a woman like that? She never could see past the end of her own nose. Found someone better and said that's the way that life goes. One foot out the door, she's got 1 foot on a cliff. She did you dirty, but now she's gotta live with it. You only ever hear how beautiful it is. raising your kids. Nothing ever said about how broken you feel when you learn it's not real. Mama said don't ever live with regret. And would you ever see in a woman like that? If life with love's better, what do they know? What if you knew better? Would you let her go? She never could put anyone but her first. Sometimes you miss her, and that's what hurts the worst. You only ever hear how beautiful it is, starting your life and raising your kids. Nothing ever said about how broken you feel when you learn it's not real. Mama said don't ever live with regret. Don't ever live with regret. And would you ever see in a woman like that?
That is so cool. It's like, it's so like sassy, but also like really smart and like wise. That's really impressive.
Thank you. I just, whenever he talks about it, obviously I haven't been through that. I just can't imagine how hard it must be. It's so hard, and I think a lot of people can relate to it. Mm-hmm. My big struggle, and I don't know if you go through this, is introducing things in a way that doesn't make me sound like a jerk, but also is funny and relatable.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just never know. Like, I want to be classy about it, but she's not my best friend. That's probably all I need to say, right? Do you labor over your song introductions, I guess is my question. I
probably should think about it more than I do, but I think for a while I was saying the same thing, and I was introducing the song like kind of the same way every time, and it started to feel like wrong somehow. So then I swung back the other way, like I'm not going to overthink it, I'm just going to say whatever pops into my head, and then sometimes that backfires too, but...
I know, it's like, for me, I really, I found that I would have bits. They've all gone away since I haven't performed in a year, but I had bits for every song, mm-hmm. and they're funny sometimes. Then I'm thinking, what if someone's heard me before? Or it just feels kind of lame after a while.
Yeah, but then when you know something works, of course you want to do it again. That was really funny. Everybody laughed at that thing, so I'm going to do that every time. Forever.
Then, I know. And then I start judging myself not on the song performance, but on the laugh reaction to things.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, that's not what I'm not a comedian, but that would be my litmus test of a successful performance or not. So that's a positive that I've found here.
Ted, I feel like has heard the same stories many times from me, the same song intros. I'm trying to keep it spontaneous.
Quick, Lisa, something spontaneous.
It's usually all right, I'm going to shut up and play the song now because I've been talking too long.
I know. Just cut yourself off. I definitely do that.
Peter will write a song as an excuse to do the bit. That's pretty smart.
I like that. Peter, you mentioned something earlier up in the comments. I'll see if I can find it. And I'm wondering if it was a... Here's my bit, guys. This is my bit. Thank you. This is a martini in a moose
nice. Mug. Brought to you by an elf.
Thank you so much. I feel
that is so funny.
No.
Oh.
This thing is a precarious item.
That's a great cup.
Not dishwasher safe. I feel like you'd lose an antler.
For sure.
Peter, I feel had a song idea for our songwriting thing. And I can't find it now. maybe I'll find it later. But Peter, it was a song title, and I liked it. I just can't recall what it is now.
I'm looking for it too.
It was like heartbreak, invitation to heartbreak.
Oh yeah.
Is that what it was? I like
As a
yes.
prompt, yeah, that's
Invitation to a Heartache. I really like that. Love it. And your laughter's always different, Lisa. I like that.
That's interesting. An interesting observation. Now I'm going to be conscious of my laughter.
Girl, somebody said that to me. A friend of mine said, when you do these live streams, you always do this giggle thing. And then I like couldn't giggle anymore because I was thinking about what on earth giggle thing he was even talking
You can't
about.
overthink the giggle.
No, I feel like I just cackle. Anyway, what song do you have for us next, Lisa?
Well, the sassiness of your last song made me want to do something like a little bit angry. I'm not like generally an angry person. It's not really an angry song, but this is what I have. I haven't played this in a while. It's called "In This Town," and I hope I remember it. Headlights, they are shining on the sidewalks of suburbia. You got cash in your front pocket, in a bag on the dash, silver lighter lying on the vinyl seat. As you roll yourself a cigarette, I say I've never been on this street. How'd you ever learn to play the blues in this town? How'd you ever learn to play the blues in this town? Well, your hands are reaching for me as the sun is going down. How'd you ever learn in this town? Down by the river, there's a place where we can go and you can play me Robert Johnson. Tell me everything I know, and I know you got a girlfriend. I know she's prettier than me, but this is nothing but a lesson in music history. And there's the turnaround, there's the beat. There's a vintage Gibson flat top right there in your back seat. How'd you ever learn to play the blues in this town? How'd you ever learn to play the blues in this town? Well, your hands are reaching for me as the sun is going down. How'd you ever learn in this town?
loved that song, and I could picture myself, no pressure for you to also picture this, but I could picture myself playing the accordion with you on that.
Oh, do you play accordion? I forgot about that.
Yeah, and I just
I would
like
love
to
that.
play it on that song.
That would
And
be
some
really
harmonies.
nice. That
Wouldn't
would
it
be
be
awesome.
fun?
That really would be fun. Yeah.
We're just gonna have to plan a Rose Garden redo.
I would love to do that. Oh my god.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thinking about potential things we can do in the future
It helps.
makes this all a little more palatable.
Yeah.
Hi, Cece. It's so good to see you. Have you played a show with Cece before?
I think maybe a long time ago, maybe at the Burn. I feel like we've talked there and at Passima. Yeah, I'm sure it's happened at some point. I can't specifically remember.
Just another one of the people that I've met playing music that just felt like someone that I just liked instantly and wanted to be friends with.
Yes.
Just throwing that out there.
It's so nice. I love doing these. I don't do very many live streams, but whenever I do, I just love seeing everybody's names and just being reminded of you all out there. I miss everybody so much, and imagine when we can finally get back to playing real shows again. The joy that we'll feel, it's going to be so amazing to...
I know.
We're going to appreciate it in a whole different way. And how long will it take till we totally take it for granted?
I know.
I'm already thinking, when can I get depressed again about...
I know.
It's not good, but I can't wait.
So glad to see Cece's name pop up. I'm torn about which song to follow that with, because I have a song about a town, but I feel like I play it a lot, and I have some people who watch every Monday, and I just want them to keep watching and not hearing the same songs every week. So maybe I'll save that one for after. But I found another piece of stuff that I could show you that you might think is cool. It's a lump of coal that was on the Titanic.
Get out! That's crazy.
Isn't that cool?
How did you come to possess that? That's so cool.
It even has a certificate of authenticity.
Oh my god.
The traveling Titanic exhibit, it was one of the items you could buy.
Wow.
So I bought it, and then later talked to someone who's really into the spirit world and told me that I shouldn't own that it could have bad juju because it's connected to that thing. But I just think I think it's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. It's a little piece of history right there.
And the Titanic, I'm sure this is true for a lot of people. The Titanic, I remember distinctly in third grade when I first saw the picture of it, and it was the thing that made me love history.
Wow.
And history is what led me to songwriting, so it's very important.
And some people survive too. I mean, maybe if you kind of reframe it also that there were so many survivors, right?
Yeah. 700. Does anyone know? It's somewhere between 700 and 800 people survived. Yeah. I have a song about the Titanic that I cannot perform without an orchestra.
Oh, I want to hear it now.
It's on my first album. If anyone, it's called A Warmer Night. But I wrote it thinking about, when I first would think about that whole disaster, it sounded loud in my mind. Doesn't it sound loud and chaotic? But the survivor statements describe it as a really quiet thing. The whole thing was actually really calm until the very, very end.
Oh my God.
So that's what the song is just about. It's about the quiet of and the quiet enormity of the moment.
Wow.
To sideswipe with, my husband bought me this face mask, and I'm a little torn.
It's pretty flashy.
It's flashy, but can you see what it says?
I can't make it out from here.
It says naughty. It says naughty. And I'm just torn because I thought that I could go out in town incognito with the mask on and people wouldn't know who I was, so it was okay that I was wearing a pink shirt and pink sweatpants and pink Crocs, but people knew it was me. So I guess I just got to choose my location for the naughty mask.
That's really funny.
Okay, so I'm going to do one of my more depressing songs. I'm always afraid to play them.
Oh, I love a depressing song. Those are the best songs, I think.
They make you feel.
Yeah.
This was just me waxing poetic about if I could do things over, what would I do?
Wow.
And I haven't played it in months.
Okay.
Disclaimer. Oh my goodness. And we'll remember to throw that up there. And I actually think that when I wrote this, I was kind of inspired by Lisa's writing too, because you just tell such beautiful stories, and so that's what I was trying to do. Hi, Chris. If I had it to do over, I'd dream bigger, I'd stay sober, my late nights would be full of hope, and this girl would occupy her own world. If I had it to make better, I'd flaunt my assets, I'd wear that sweater, I'd leave people who only stood to bring hurt, and put my heart first. Had time going nowhere, had time going fast. Might I take the hands of time and bend them back? If I had him to throw stones at, I'd politely tell him to pack his own bag. I'd make gifts with these hands that only I could. And God, I'd be good. High time going nowhere, high time going fast. Might I take the hands of time and bend them back? If I had it to do again, I'd wait tables and paint on a good grin. I'd be respectable, paying my own way, and I'd learn some bridges should burn. High time going nowhere, high time going fast. Might I take the hands of time and bend them back? But I don't have it to do over, so grin and bear it, or just move forward. Take the days as they come. Don't forget what you've learned. Let that fire burn, and let the world turn.
That's so gorgeous.
Thank you.
That's so beautiful. I've heard you play that song either, I'm sure, at the Rose Garden or somewhere else. That's really
Thank you.
beautiful.
I think I
Love
did it
that.
on a couple of early live streams. I wrote it January 6th. Do you date your notebooks?
Yes. Yeah. Well, actually, I think I do. I think I write. Now I've got to check. I think I write the date as I'm going, but I always write it on the outside, so I have like a date range at least.
Yes. Yes, that is smart. Oh, thank you, Ted, and thank you, Denise. It's funny. I call it a depressing song, but actually,
I
it's
know.
more of trying to be a self-motivator, I guess.
I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I had a question for you that's now slipped my mind. It's because of the Moose Mug Martini.
Well, as you were singing that song, I got a and just this I love the story that you told, and like the idea of like looking back and sort of reevaluating things. As you were singing it, I got a text from my friend Naomi Summers, and I was thinking about playing her song tonight, and it sort of speaks to the same thing. So maybe I'll play the song that my friend Naomi wrote that's called Top of the Hill. That's one of my favorite songs of all time, and I hope I remember the words. Every song tonight I'm starting with like, I hope I remember it.
But can I just throw out there, like, both of us came into this feeling unprepared, and I'm having a great time.
I'm having a great time. I don't know how it sounds, but I'm having so much fun. This is so nice.
Me too.
Thanks for inviting me to do this.
Thanks for saying yes.
No way. All right, so maybe I texted Naomi, and she said maybe she'd be watching. So if I make a mistake, she can scold me on Facebook, or she can help me out with a lyric. And I will I'll type her name on here too. I would recommend that you look her up sometime. She's so good. I don't know how to do it from where I am, but later I'll go back and send you a link. This is Top of the Hill. I can't hear if I'm in tune or not. Let me just double check, because you'll thank me later if I take the time to tune now. You are up to the top of the hill. You can see the next hill from there, and look down on the rooftops below, and turn back when it's time to go. You are calling the names out loud of all the friends who let you down, saying, look how high I am now. I made the top of the hill somehow. You saw every road you walked with clear eyes. You bet every dime you had on the endless skies. You left everything you loved with no goodbyes. You made every fool's mistake, but now you are wise. There's the girl who left you behind because you could not read her mind, and another you tried to keep. You still talk to her every night in your sleep about how you can't stand growing old, and how could she have left you so cold. And look how much better you are. It took some time, but you climbed so far. You saw every road you walked with clear eyes. You bet every dime you had on the endless skies. You left everything you loved with no goodbyes. You made every fool's mistake, but now you are wise. You are up to the top of the hill, and your body's as strong as your will, but the hardest part is the descent. Keep your back straight skies. You left everything you loved with no goodbyes. You made every fool's mistake, but now you are wise.
What a lovely, lovely, lovely song. I put. Did I spell it correctly?
That's right. Thank you.
Check out NaomiSummers.com. That was lovely and could also work with accordion.
Yes. I mean, what song can't work isn't improved by the accordion?
I think that mostly depends on who's playing the accordion. I haven't quite mastered delicacy yet. I'm good on the accordion with a nice Irish drinking tune.
Awesome.
That is my forte.
That's cool.
But I'm told, well, do you know Radislav?
Yes.
I don't know how to pronounce. So there's this amazing accordion player and pianist, Radislav. Do you know how to say his last name?
Is it Lorkovich?
Lorkovich.
We played a show it was the last show before everything closed. One of my last shows was with Rad and Jim Trick.
Oh, in Marblehead? At Me and
Yeah,
Thee?
Me and Thee. Yeah.
Yeah, Rad is just so cool. He accompanied me at Falcon Ridge, and I felt like the coolest girl in the world.
That's awesome.
But all that to say, he's very good with dynamics with the accordion, and I'm a pianist, so I can do the keyboard side, but the buttons are really hard. They all feel exactly the same, and then it's hard to. It's like singing, I suppose. Balance the airflow of the bellows it's really hard.
It seems hard. Have you read Accordion Crimes by Annie Proulx?
No.
Oh Lord. Okay.
Is this a murder mystery?
No, actually, I have it right here. I'm going to show you the
That sounds
cover.
like a murder mystery.
I think that's what it's called. Oh yeah. Oh my God. So if you like history and you like accordion, I highly recommend this book.
I'm in.
So let me read the back. It's a masterpiece of storytelling that spans a century and a continent. Proulx brings the immigrant experience in America to life through the eyes of the descendants of Mexicans, Poles, Africans, Irish Scots, Franco-Canadians, and many others, all linked by their successive ownership of a simple green accordion.
Oh,
And the writing is so beautiful. Has been my favorite book for a really long time, but I really think you would love it.
Okay.
So
I'm going to message you to remind me about that, but that sounds exactly up my alley.
Yeah.
I also like murder mysteries that involve baking in cats.
Okay. This is not quite that, but I still think you'd like it.
That's my little old lady mind went, ooh, crimes?
Wait,
did they do it with the
Oh
accordion?
my God. Oh my God. Do you read Mary Higgins Clark? Oh, me too.
I have,
love
not
that.
recently. So I have like she's more of a refined murder mystery, right? But so the ones I've been reading, the sleuth is a baker, and so who has a cat, and at the end of every chapter you get a recipe.
That sounds like fun. Oh my God. Have you made the recipes?
Oh yeah. The first one I read was the plum pudding murder. And so I made plum pudding, and that's my thing. In the holidays, is I make plum pudding.
Wow. Oh, I've never had plum pudding. It sounds delicious.
Charlie Sylvester just said it's like sitting in my friend's living room, and
yeah.
I'm so glad you said that, because we were talking earlier about like how much chit chat we would have in this show, and so Denise has mentioned before that she likes hearing the talking, and I just find it really cathartic. I like talking to people. This feels really good.
Yes, this is so
For my
nice.
soul. So thank you, Charlie. I feel the same way. Can I should have mentioned this earlier. Do you have any Christmas songs in your repertoire?
Oh, I have like a really bad Christmas breakup song that I wrote a long time ago. I don't even remember it. But
You have one you
I don't.
wrote.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, and I did a Christmas show last year, and I remember cramming like to learn all the Christmas songs, and then I instantly forgot them. It was like short-term memory. Do you do Christmas songs?
No, I have two. So I have one I put out, The Holly and the Ivy, which you can go check out on my YouTube, if only to see my stepdaughters. They made the video for me.
Oh, cool. I want to see it.
It's really adorable. They did it with this Video Star app. They're so cute. But I wanted to try, I've been trying to speak some French to my son. I was really good at French in high school. I don't speak French with anybody. And so I'm just going to do a verse and a chorus just to see if anybody out there speaks French and can correct my pronunciation.
Oh, that's so cool.
This is only going to be a verse and a chorus,
okay.
But it's my favorite Christmas song. Mark is saying hopefully it's not the recipes that are the cause of the murders. No. But it'll be things like they discovered the body because the tray of cherry pie was on the ground. And then you get the cherry pie recipe.
That's really cool.
It's pretty macabre baking, but okay. I'm just gonna leave you up there and on right now, Lisa, because this is not really. This is just me feeling like I want to sing this. So please, if anybody speaks French, this is my cry for help. En flambeau, jeunesse belle, en flambeau, courants au berceau. C'est suspend le genre de amour, le Christ est né. Marie appelle que l'enfant est belle, que l'enfant est beau. Bring a torch to Mary Isabella, bring a torch to the cradle and run. It is Jesus, good folk of the village. Christ is born, and Mary's calling out. Beautiful is the mother. Beautiful is her son. I love that Christmas song.
That's so beautiful. Was that?
I feel better now.
I love when you were singing in French. I don't really speak French, but it's very convincing.
So when
to my ears, it sounds beautiful.
Thank you. When I was in high school, I was obsessed with French. I think it was because of boys. Like in my mind, I was going to meet some cute French boy, and that was going to be it. So I was passionate about it. And so I used to just speak in French in my mind all the time, but I just don't get to practice it anymore. But
yeah.
I love it. And I was actually talking last week. Maybe it wasn't last week, but about accents and how. No, I was talking with Natalie Price on Saturday morning. So, do you ever just fall into a false accent?
I'm embarrassed to admit that I do sometimes, and it's very annoying to myself.
So
I annoy myself with the accents because I think I'm really good at it, and then I'll just like run with it. And like one Halloween, I went as British for my costume, and I can't believe I did that. I'm sorry to anybody who was there.
I'm really glad that you did that. Unless I don't know if it's offensive to British people, but when I was teaching piano, I would randomly mid-lesson just be in an accent, and I didn't do it on purpose. I think it had started as a way to try to capture a student's attention.
It works. I do that with my kids sometimes too, and it actually does work.
Yes.
It's just like they're like, wait, what? Like they don't hear my voice normally, and then I just have to sound like a different person, and then they'll listen.
One of my proudest moments when I first got my driver's license, I had just learned to do a British accent. And I went to the gas station, and this is back when $5 of gas was an amount that you would buy. And so I said, I'll have $5 of petrol, please. or however I said it. And the guy pumped the gas and said, I love your accent. And then paid for my gas.
Oh my God.
And I was so proud
That's
of myself.
so
I was
funny.
like, what else can I get for free? So I just would like go around pretending to be foreign that day. And I went
Wow.
home, I was like, Mom, if you're foreign, you can get free stuff. And then she made me go back and pay the guy back the $5 and tell him I wasn't really British.
Oh.
I know, it was not kind of me, but
that's good that you were that convincing that,
I haven't done it in a
believable.
while. But in my heyday, maybe we could. That could be a thing we do too.
Well, I
do
think
accents.
you're so musical. I think that helps with learning languages and your accent for speaking for, I mean, it seems like connected somehow.
I think so
That
too.
you
I
have
was
an ear
actually,
for
this might be a
that.
stretch, but for me to do an accent, I just have to not worry about if I'm good or bad at it. You just have to do the accent, much like songwriting. If you're worried about it being good or bad, it's going to stop the song from flowing. You just have to
Yeah.
let what comes out come out. Is it that way with visual art?
Yeah, there was something when I started doing these lyric videos. There was something that I don't know. I come and go with things like music. I took a long break for a while, and then I came back to it. Same thing with art. Like I took some time off, and then lately, in the past few years, coming back to visual arts, I've just accepted like this is how it comes out of me, and I don't have to like it, but I know that I like to do it, and there's all like just by practicing you can get better at things, but somewhere I heard like it's the things that you can't do that define your style. And so like if you can't, I can sort of like paint realistically, but my sort of inability to do that makes things come out the way that they do, which is like I'll hold one up to you, like it's kind of like folk art. I mean, and it's just like accepting like this is how it comes out of me, and I know that I like to do it, so I'm just going to do it.
And so, I love that's the style
so they're
of
tiny,
art that
they're small.
I love. Are those for a lyric video?
This was for Beautiful Girl. I've got a little pile. I sold some of these the other day on my Bandcamp page on Bandcamp Friday. This was a still from the Beautiful Girl video, and then I also got into making these series of like animals playing instruments.
You are so cool.
So I did some of those, and then I also like to do portraits. So I did one of Ruth Bader Ginsburg on the day that she died.
I saw that. That's on your Insta, isn't it?
Yeah. So these are all ones that have sold, but I've got some other panels that are just waiting to be painted. So there's some other stuff.
Oh, I love it. And just throwing it out here, we've been talking about it for a while. Tomorrow I'm going to the studio to finish the vocals for my new album, or to start the vocals.
Oh, yay! I was going to ask you about that.
But Lisa's going to do a lyric video for me, and we don't know when. This year has given me certain freedom with that. Like, I don't know when. I'm just going to begin doing this. And so I'm just really excited that we're going to collaborate in that way.
I love doing these. I can't wait to hear your songs and like work with you on what will work best for your song. I try to make each one really different from the last, and I don't know. I'm really excited to do that. So
yeah. Oh, you're so cool.
And I'm not like I'm very flexible time wise with things these days. I feel like time is a very strange thing right now. So.
I had a friend that would wax poetic about time. He'd just be like, "What is time anyway?"
Really? What is it?
What is time? My husband just made a joke. Do you see that?
Yes. Oh, that was my joke. Also, I've been saying that too. Like on my Bandcamp page, I think in the description I was like, "Drumstick, anyone?" Ha ha ha. Like, yeah, it is a chicken playing drums.
I love it. So my son's bedroom is right behind this mirror. And his bedtime is 8, but on Mondays it's 8:30. But here we are, it's 8:30. My husband's watching, so he can tell me the yay or no, or yay or nay. Is it okay if we each do one more song, Scott? We'll see how quickly he can respond. But while he's deciding, I want to hear another Lisa song.
Okay. Well, we talked about this song before, and I like to end with this one. It's called Beautiful Girl, but it really works for girls or boys. So that's what I tell my son anyway. A girl in the woods with a knife and a loaf of bread comes upon a pack of wild, hungry dogs. She'll use the knife to cut the bread, making sure they're all fed, and maybe save a little for herself. 'Cause it's alright to be gentle, and it's alright to be kind, and it's alright to be brave and scared. I want you to know that I love you more than anything in this world. I want you to know that you're a beautiful girl. And when you were a baby, and I To the moon and back I said, I tell you now so you won't forget, so you'll remember when the going gets harder, that it's alright to be gentle, and it's alright to be kind, and it's alright to be brave and scared. I want you to know that I love you more than anything in this world. I want you to know that you're a beautiful girl. And someday when you're older and you feel a little lost in the woods with a knife and some bread, well, I hope you'll build a fire, spread your blankets in the sun. I hope you'll still see there's enough for you, and there's enough for everyone. And it's alright to be gentle, and it's alright to be kind, and it's alright to be angry. It's alright to change your mind, and it's alright to be fierce, and it's alright to fight, and it's alright to be happy. It's alright to cry when you need to cry, and it's alright to be gentle, and it's alright to be kind, and it's alright to be brave and scared. I want you to know I'll always love you more than anything in this world. I want you to know that you're a beautiful girl.
I love that. I was just playing piano.
Oh, nice. I wish I could have heard that.
It would have been a weird delay, but what a stunning and inspiring piece of music for your daughter and for everybody.
Thank you so much.
I love that. She's so lucky to have you to look up
Oh,
to.
thanks.
Do you get, I often feel like not the best that I want for my son. Like I want the best things for him ever, and I always think like I'm not the best. Do you like? I think that's a pretty common.
It's so easy to beat yourself up as a parent, and like we all make mistakes. And somebody said this to me that has really helped. Is just like it's okay to show up human. Like you're showing up human. We're flawed. We have our good, good moments and our bad. And I think you're there. You're coming from a good place. You're not always going to get it right, and that's okay. Like it's like if I, yell or something and I feel bad about it later, like I go back and say like I lost my temper. I'm really sorry. Like these are big feelings. It just helps. Like we're all kind of learning together. Nobody is an expert at it.
And I feel like you hit the nail on the head. The first thing you said is just you're there.
Yeah.
Right? You're there.
Yeah.
And really, my son has just gotten to this stage where he will see me and go, "Hello, Mama," and hug me.
That is sweet. Oh my God.
Or like run up and hug my legs and not let go. And it's just, I'm like, oh, he does like me.
He loves you. He loves you so much. Like more
Even
than
if
you
he
can even
does
imagine.
throw,
That's so sweet.
Even if he throws all the Lucky Charms on the floor.
He feels comfortable with you enough that he can do those things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's really important. That's important to remember, I think, even in a romantic relationship, if someone gets snippy, it's because you're the safe person, and we need safe people that we know are going to be there.
Yep.
No matter. So your song just informed my last song.
Awesome.
Which is one I would never, ever end with, but I'm going to end with it. And I wrote this when in the beginning of being a mom and feeling inadequate and like that stage where you're barely functioning because you haven't slept in a week. And it's just about like how gritty parenting is, because it's not like, I often joke that the Mother's Day cards before you're a parent imply that it's going to be this flowery, beautiful thing, and that's not what it is. So, and also, I'm debating adding this as a last song to my album. And if I'm going to do that, tomorrow would be the opportunity to do that. So get practice.
Great.
And let me know if you think I should or should not add this.
can already tell you that you should add it. Add it.
Maybe. Oh, man. Okay, and I will throw this up, too. He looks up, and I'm weary. It's enough to break me. The eyes that I color, the fingers I'm counting, they think that I smother. The pressure is mounting. Heart is the others, they say that it is. No glory, a greater mountain to miss than this. How could I know that I would fall? Victim of the sharpest arrow of all. Just a stroke of his hand, and I fall through quicksand. I'm a mess, and it's deeper than ever before. Oh, arms that are always begging for more. I've read all the good books and scholarly papers about what makes a good wife, mother, caretaker. I put them all down every time he calls. He carries the sharpest arrow of all. What makes me move? What makes me whole? What makes me grasp for anything to hold? It's this love. He just wants to please me. He don't know it's so easy. I count all the moments till I see his eyes. I can't help it, there is no sufficient disguise. I walked in for every inch of my soul, clutching at moments that I couldn't hold. Everything, I give it freely. I hope when he's older that he still sees me. I long for his soft touch again and again. Someday when he's older, will he be my friend? How could I know that I would fall? Apostle of the sharpest arrow of all.
Oh my god. I'm glad I was muted because I was going, yes! And crying a little bit. Like, oh, hi.
Can you say hi, Lisa? Say hi, Lisa.
Hi. Oh my god.
Lisa.
So cute. Oh, hi. He's so adorable.
Can you say pretty music, huh?
Oh.
Pretty music. Okay, here you go.
The line, I hope when he's older, will he still see me? Will he be my friend? I feel that. That's so, yeah. You gotta You have to include that. Will he still see me? Will he be my friend? I think that every day when I see my kids.
I'm so glad it's not just me.
My son especially, like he's just so like he comes to my room every morning and like gets into bed with me, and it's just like such a nice little quiet moment, and I just think like there's going to be a morning that I wake up before him and that doesn't happen, and like
now you're gonna make me cry.
Oh.
Yes, because it's so, and I think that every night when I put him to bed, like, will this be the last time? He goes, ABCs,
or
you know, it's just such a beautiful and sensitive and difficult, it's every emotion in one,
yes,
isn't
absolutely.
it?
Yeah. Oh, that's so beautiful. Yeah, please include that on your CD.
Thank you. I every time I go to the studio, it was going to be a 5-song EP, you know, and now we're at like 15.
Wow, that's great.
Not that many, but anyway, Lisa, you're so wonderful, and I'm really grateful for this time to get to know you better.
Me too. Thank you so much. Thanks again for doing this and for inviting me. This was really fun.
Oh, of course. What did Peter say? When they get old enough to have good conversations with us, even adult conversations. Yes. When we do have the other end of that, because we have one of our girls just turned 18 yesterday.
Wow.
So we've got the spectrum here.
Yeah.
So I wanted to throw it one more time. I'm assuming if you all are watching tonight that you have liked either of our Facebook pages, but if you haven't, please know that this is a free way to make a human feel really, really good. Just getting a new like on our pages makes my day. I would assume you feel the same way.
Yeah, well, you could unlike it and then like it again, just so I get the little serotonin or whatever it is from the notification.
Yes, and be like, oh, they still like it.
Yes.
And then if you're able to contribute to the tip jar, that would be really, really helpful. And I like to remind people that independent artists are like the smallest businesses out there. Ted, is there
Do we have Venmo? I have Venmo, but do we have a joint? Like,
no, we don't. But what is your Venmo?
I have one. It's Lisa-Bastoni, and we'll share it.
Lisa-Bastoni, Ted. Mm-hmm. I have one too. I just don't know off the top of my head what my handle is. But also I have a Spotify playlist. I call it the Virtual World Tour Spotify playlist. And so I'm going to add Lisa's music tomorrow. Can you? I'm assuming The Beautiful Girl is on.
It is, yeah.
Okay. So the songs that Lisa played tonight we'll put on the Spotify playlist, and please follow it. I know like it's such a catch-22 because we don't get very much royalty from Spotify.
Don't use Spotify, but follow us on Spotify.
Because honestly, like, you know, the way you get traction is to show that people are listening. So very helpful if you do that. And there's a lot of great artists on there that you may not have heard before. Mm-hmm. And then Lisa and I are going to plan our songwriting live stream.
Oh yeah, I really want to do that.
I'm committed to it now. We're gonna do it.
All right, I'm so psyched. I love that idea.
You're the best, Lisa Bastoni, everybody. Thank you for watching.
Oh, so good to see you. See you again soon. Take care.